this is a quick video about bait hives. A video about kind of where I put my bait hives, how I protect them, and the location that I use. This one's quite an urban location, so it's not in a tree. I would put a lot in a tree. I would put most of them in trees. It's their natural environment, but this isn't what urban location, this one. But the main things you're looking for when putting up bait hives is you're looking for somewhere high. Bees seem to like that. It also stops people messing with it. You're looking for somewhere kind of remote. The less people that go there, the better. Quite a cool day today. And the last thing you're looking for is somewhere near other hives. If you've got a bait hive, then putting other bait hives nearby will work, and that's exactly what I did. And I'm down today just to make some modifications to what I've done so far. There we go. It's quite cool and early in the morning, so the bees shouldn't be active. Well, fancy having to get them out of the river. Now the fact there's a footpath here does kind of tell you that this is used more than I would like. Mainly used by fishermen more than anything else, but unfortunately, like all things, there's only really three kinds of people who come down here. With it being a river, fishermen, because I've got my bees here, there's me, and the last thing are young kids who come down here, unfortunately, to vandalise stuff. This hive, because it's easily accessible, it's been done a couple of times now. I've come down, found it upside down, then I don't know how they managed to do that. But the one that we're here for today is this one up here. Now what I did was I wire roped it, so it was on there without wire rope. I think they've been down, used that paddle over there to kind of nudge it. This is occupied, by the way. That one isn't. So it's not too high, but the fall down to there is not the best. And I have done that. I have done that. I was working with my ladder one time, and I stepped back to check that everything was good. And unfortunately, I slipped off this edge here and ended up down there. Nothing hurt but my pride that day. So we'll just get everything ready. So safety wise, just a couple of things just to quickly do. The first thing is just to shut them in. I'm sure they don't mind me being here. But I'm not going to take that risk. It's quite cold, so they're probably not even up yet. Just in case, I'm just going to shut them in. They won't be shut in for long. What on earth is that? And the next thing, just because we're on an edge, and edges and safety don't necessarily go together, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my this through here. Wow, so it's going to take forever to get through there. Okay, I'm not gonna do it that way. I'm gonna have to put it here, which is less than ideal. Still achieve the same ends. It's not quite as secure as it was last time, but it'll have to do. I only need it to prevent me moving sideways, that's all. Should for any reason the whole thing move that way, I just don't want to whoosh off the edge. It tends to butt against this first, but I'd rather it didn't do that either. But as you can see, what I'm relying on is a piece of brick, which is not something you should ever probably rely on. So the reason I'm down is to work on this bit of security here. It was double wrapped round, but I was down yesterday and I noticed that what's happened is the wraparound has gone on it. It's not terrible. It could be worse. So what I have is, I use wire ropes. I have these. I'm not sure what you call them. They're like a kind of U-clamp. Seeing, because I lost one of the bolts the other day. I was seeing if it was still around, but it's gone. Okay. Quite tight. And the push it onto there, maybe. Yeah, it might work. I think that's what I'd do. You really don't want to drop it. No, you really don't. Let's take that out of my mouth. It hurts your teeth after a while. And prey isn't very good for them either. Come on. Got a screw that's going to be a pain in the ass. A bolt even. Let's try just fixing for pity's sake. I might have to rethink this. Yeah, that's come undone, hasn't it? Yeah, I'm going to have to rethink it. Bollocks. Right, I'm gonna undo the whole construction and start from scratch, I think. Try and undo this. Oh, there we go. Okay, right. The problem is that's probably going to ping off. Let's see if I can prevent that. There we go. Matt. Oh dear. Okay, that one's loose as well. Nice one. This is just the wrong height, isn't it? And I'm just going to take the last one off. So this is what I do to secure them in. Purely because that's going to wake the bees up, if anything does. Purely because very few hives don't get messed with. It's really strange. You put them somewhere public, then you're not kind of asking for it because they should be able to leave things alone, but the general public can usually be relied on to do something stupid rather than something the opposite. The kids are kids. You know, they're just kind of exploring, finding their way, trying to understand things, but the wanton vandalism is just, it's a little bit too far, to be honest, for me. And I have had hives set on fire. I've had them outright stolen, which is really strange. I don't know what the person who stole one did with it. I've had them thrown in the river, which is not uncommon, and I've lost them in the river myself. So, you know, as much as other people are responsible for removing them, I've also managed to lose them myself in there. So it's not always down to other people. And all you do is you just tighten that right up, like so. And then all I would do, this next bit's going to be difficult, and I don't particularly want to open that up, do I? Let's get that blocked up again. Bloody hell. It's a good job they're not out of bed yet. There's a good likelihood they might be now though. Okay. So all I'm going to do is just take that round that. This wire rope is great. In that it's it is very strong stuff, but it has a nasty habit of coming undone. That's the only problem with it. God's sake. I really don't want these screws to struggle to go on. That's really going to annoy me a bit. An extra inch of room wouldn't have gone amiss here. It wouldn't have done. That's one on. That's the second one on. Amazing. Right, and then all you do with wire rope is you just slide them down. And that's it. It allows you to tighten them up against there. Now, what I might do, let's not move the ladder like that. Okay, I'm just going to have to try and tighten it up as much as I can. I am. That's unlikely to come off, so that's good. let's not undo it. Let's see if I can't get it a bit further up. No, it's pretty much well on there. Just tighten those on. Okay, so that's done. So that's pretty much well fixed on. That shouldn't. That shouldn't go anywhere. It's pretty rigid on there. You probably can't. You can't get it off. Okay, that's good to know. And I'm just going to put that up there. Like that. Now you can move it down, of course. I've just shown that you can. But hopefully, for pity's sake, what the hell? Yeah, I've shown that you can pull it down, but hopefully your kind of garden ornament criminals won't bother with that. Well, your garden ornament vandals, I should say. They shouldn't bother with that, so that's fine. I'm just going to put a second one on there quite low. I'm going to see if I've got enough to get round this. I don't. So I'm probably going to have to tie it on at the front there. That is annoying. There's a little bit. And I'm wondering whether we could tie that onto there. You know, it's secure enough there. It is secure enough. So all I'm going to do I'm going to bring that down. I wanted to avoid the I want to avoid blocking the entrance because the bees really are not keen on this. They're really not. They really don't like it. They'll get used to it. It's got no choice. They're not overly keen on it. Okay, there we go. Right, so I'm gonna work with it as it is there. So all I'm going to do is just put one on here and then one on the other one there. You want? Good to know. There really isn't enough room here, is there? And then the other one, there we go. Perfect. finger tight, there we go. Now I'll do the other one now. The problem with doing this one upside down is you increase the chance of dropping your bolt, which is not great. But when it comes to putting your ratchet on, it's a lot easier. So swings and roundabouts. There we go. Now the bees are not going to be happy about this. My GoPro, I don't think is particularly happy about this small space either. They won't be happy initially about all this wire rope being in the way. They soon get used to it though. But they're creatures of habit. And anything that changes about their home, they're not overly keen on. This needed doing. It needed doing purely because I wasn't happy about this attachment point. This attachment point now is a lot better than it was. So all I'm going to do now, I'm just going to untie my ladder from everything. That little stone has done me well. Lot that off. Bloody bramble. And because I'd rather not be there, I'd definitely rather not be at the top of the ladder, just in case. It is warm enough, and just in case they're not happy, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove this with a stick. Now obviously I've pushed it in a little bit more than it was. Maybe a little bit more effort to get it off than it. Bloody hell, it would have been better doing it up my ladder. Come on. Well, that'll teach me to shove it in so far. Just take this out. Nice, no activity. Which means they're either super chilled which my bees do tend to be, thank goodness, or they're all dead. We'll find out later. But sites like this are just great because very few people come down here. Like I say, the only risk is vandalising kids, which is why I put the wire rope there. The sole purpose of the wire rope is they did put stones here to try and climb up, but they couldn't reach it. But what they had done is they had pushed it towards the edge, and my fear was that they were going to knock it and have it tumble down, and that would damage it massively. I have had another hive that was pushed off a ledge. That one's now at home. Found that upside down, leaking honey. Unbelievable what people will do. They seem to have recovered. My main concern was that in the fall, if the queen had been squashed, but luckily that wasn't the case. But yeah, the three main things when bait hiving in terms of location is put it somewhere where very few people go. That limits the number of people who are going to find out about it. Put it at height. You'll be surprised how many people don't look up at things and walk past things. That one really isn't high enough. You can climb up that ledge, which is kind of how I got it there. And this one is a lot harder to access, so that's perfect. Yeah, the last thing is height. It's just things that discourage people from going to get them. Height is one, wire rope, which I've started using now, is another. And if they can't get it down, they just get frustrated and just leave it. And the last thing is, if things get really bad, you can always use barbed wire around them just to really discourage them from messing with them. And the other thing, of course, is put them somewhere ideally where there are other bees. If there's no bees around, then your chance of getting a swarm is fairly limited. And these ones were all baited with slum gum liquor, which is basically when you boil down wax, it's what's left. Yeah, you filter what's left and you get a liquid, put it in there, let it dry out, and it just works amazingly well for attracting bees. What I'm going to do this year, that hive obviously isn't coming down, I'm leaving that one up. What I am going to do this year is I'm going to put some other bait hives up around here. I'm not going to show you the location of the other hive because that hive was a bait off another bait hive, so there is another occupied one round here. It's over the other side of the river, but they use and there's another one further downstream on this side as well. But the bees use the river as a kind of navigable pathway, and so they use the river to move up and down. So if you bait along the river, then there's a good chance you'll get more bees, and they don't travel as far as you might think. I'll just get my ladder down from here.